the brother that stands out in my mind is Father Tom. Okay, so God bless Tom. He died about, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago maybe. So God bless Tom, and maybe in your loving arms, Lord, in paradise, and for your continuous prayers for me, Tom, and for all of us here, for all the Capuchins, for all you pray for. So, so he became my spiritual director. Not to begin with, I don't think. When I first joined, I think I had a couple of other ones to begin with, but maybe going into my study years, so maybe, I don't know, maybe about year 5 or maybe about year 6. But I was struggling a lot at this time, and if I can just give a little bit of background, because I think this is the struggle with it. So before I became a friar, so I was married. So I was married before I became a friar, and we have a daughter. So I have a beautiful daughter. And so when I joined the order, I think Shani was, she's 33 years of age now. So she may have been, I'm not good at maths, I don't know, 17, 18 maybe. But it was quite, I can remember on joining the order, obviously, I was still being able to be accepted and everything, but obviously my background's a little bit, quite a bit different from my other brothers, really. And I can remember being given, probably it was the advice that was needed, I don't know, at the beginning, probably. But I was maybe mentioned not really to talk about my daughter, really. You know, it just might, whatever, it might. So I did, but what that was doing was, internally, it wasn't good, because she's my daughter, you know, and I can't talk, you know, and I live here, and I suppose it's quite a difficult scenario, really. It's a hard one, really. But it was making me, I think it wasn't doing me any good, and it was making me a bit poorly and upset, and that's when I was with Father Tom, and then he began to help me to understand the gift that God had given me, the gift He had given me of my marriage when I was in my marriage, the beautiful gift of life that the Lord had given to me and Anne in our marriage, the gift of our daughter, the gift of that life from our Lord, and and of course the gift of being a Franciscan friar. So it was one, because I was always parting one from the other. I was like a Franciscan friar over here, and still really like a dad, which is who I am over here. And Tom helped me to slowly work through over the years to help me to bring the two together. And there became a beautiful moment one day when it all just sort of, you could feel it getting closer and closer to the way we used to talk about things, and just other things as well, but this was always like maybe quite forefront. And then one day Tom just said to me, you know, Martin, do you know, actually he said to me, you know, do you know who you are? He said, and I went, I'm trying to work it out a little bit. And he helped me, and he just said, Martin, you know, you are a friar dad. You're a friar, a Capuchin friar, and you're also a dad. You have a daughter, a beautiful daughter, and she needs you, and you need her. Life has changed, of course. That's just how life unfolds sometimes. But, okay, it's difficult. It can be difficult and everything, but it doesn't mean. And to cut a long story short, we did struggle, but and then he said another thing. He said another thing to me. He said, "You have two choices now, Martin. You are a friar dad, and you have two choices. You can either, with your daughter, because we worked close because of everything that had happened, and so he said, you can, I suppose, in a way, back off and take the easy road, really, not put the work into the relationship and just let it drift. That's what you can do if you so choose. Or, he said, you can take the hard path, and that means putting a lot of work into your relationship with your daughter. And again, a lot of reconciliation, a lot of forgiveness, it's going to take time, but you need, and you can, if you want, with God's help, rebuild that relationship. And it can come, by the grace of God, to a relationship and to a love that you never had before. And you could never really imagine. And by doing the second path, by doing the work, by talking, by sharing, by this is me. I'm Martin. I'm a friar dad. I love my life. I thank the God for everything that's happened in my life. Every little step of the way has made me into the person that I am today, and I wouldn't change anything. And and me and my daughter, she's married now. I did her wedding. I did her wedding a year ago. She had her baby son on Sunday. The son was just born on Sunday when it was the time for my first Mass. So it's just, there has been difficult times. It has been hard. But, it's sometimes through the tough, and it's through those difficult times that we really find, who we are, who I am, resilience and gifts and graces that you would have never imagined sometimes, or you could never even dreamed of what God has dreamed for all his children, for all his people. But that dream can come true.